Good morning, everybody. We've got a sharply higher trade in the grain markets here very early on Thursday morning. It is 5:41 a.m. Central Time as I record here. May corn futures up 35 cents at 7.16 and a quarter. December corn up 29 and three quarters at 6.41. May soybeans up 58 cents at 17.29. November beans up 41 at 15.28 and a half. May Chicago wheat up 50 cents at 9.34 and three quarters. May Kansas City wheat up 50 cents at 9.68. May spring wheat is up 60 cents at 10.62 and three quarters. If you guys are listening on the podcast, as always, appreciate it. Leave me a rating, leave me a review on that Apple app in particular. If you're watching on YouTube, guys, hit that subscribe button, like these videos, help me to grow this channel. If you need some additional assistance from me, go to my website. It is www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan in the upper right-hand corner. I've got a really nice subscription service. You should check it out. It's $49.99 a month. You get my morning email, my text message service, all of my subscriber-only videos. This is a monthly deal. You can cancel it at absolutely any time. On a day like today where there's breaking news, I was up very early. My newsletter went out before 5:30 today, so very timely information direct from me, guys. I did a subscriber-only video yesterday, which I think is especially applicable on a day like today. The title of the video was Grain Marketing Can Make You Feel Silly. And, you know, a lot of you guys out there are very prudent risk managers. You're watching your budgets, you're watching your numbers, and then you get a day like today. The markets go parabolic, and it feels like all that marketing work that you did has just been thrown out the window. And any sales that you've made here over the last several months or even last several years now can kind of make you feel silly. So I talked about the mentality of that. I talked about grain marketing, all of those items. All right, so let's get to the big breaking news here today. Russian forces have launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Reuters reports this morning that Russian forces have invaded by land, air, and by sea. Russian missiles fell on Ukrainian cities. Ukraine reports troops pouring across the border. Explosions were heard near the Ukraine capital. Ukraine's president said this: Putin has just launched a full-scale invasion of Ukraine. Peaceful Ukrainian cities are under strikes. This is a war of aggression. Ukraine will defend itself and will win. The world can and must stop Putin. The time to act is now. A representative from the EU said this: These are among the darkest hours of Europe since the Second World War. So we've got an absolute mess here this morning, guys. There's a lot of uncertainty. How long does this go? Does the U.S. get involved? Do other European countries get involved? So many unknowns. Vladimir Putin did a nationally televised press conference or video that was on national media in Russia overnight, and he said that the U.S. and its allies crossed Russia's red lines by expanding NATO alliances. He said he was taking action to protect civilians in separatist regions, although there is no evidence that they were really under any sort of threat. Putin said the goal of the operation was the demilitarization of Ukraine. Russia wants the Kiev region out. So I think that he's maybe saying some things that aren't true here. I don't know necessarily that those breakaway regions were in any in harm's way by any means, but that's his motive here. So we've got a big mess here. And guys, this is good for the grain markets. Sure, it's going to put money in your pockets, but people are going to die. This is a messy deal. Don't take this too lightly. Russia has suspended already movement of commercial vessels in the Azov Sea. Ukraine announced that operations at the country's seaports were suspended. Ports in the Black Sea region will remain open for Russian navigation, at least according to several sources in the grain industry. This is being reported by Reuters this morning, but this is all a fluid situation. So the issue here when it comes to corn and wheat, guys, is that these two countries combined account for 29% of all global wheat exports and 19% of world corn exports, 80% of global sunflower exports or seed exports. So this is a mess, and it's going to change by the hour here. But that's been the big deal with this all along, is that there's some sort of export disruption. And you could also make the argument that if this continues long enough, that it could have some impact on the growing season in Russia and Ukraine this year. If you run into a multi-year military conflict, it's something that could absolutely limit production in those areas. I don't know that a whole lot of news outside of the Russia situation matters today, but USDA will host its annual Outlook forum today and tomorrow. Reuters polled a group of analysts in regard to corn and soybean acreage ahead of the event. On average, traders expect corn acreage to be estimated at 91.8 million, which would be down from 93.4 last year. Soybean acreage expected 89.2 versus 87.2 last year. I don't believe these analysts are attempting to predict actual acreage. I think they're attempting to guess what USDA will say this week. So you're going to see a whole bunch of numbers out from the Outlook forum. Again, this is all going to play second fiddle to this Russian situation here this morning. The much more important prospective plantings report will be released on March 31st. Secretary Vilsack was speaking about the importance of low-carbon biofuels yesterday. This was at the National Ethanol Conference, which was in New Orleans this week. I'm not sure that this means a whole lot, but we may hear some biofuel news regarding 2023, 2024, 2025. That was something that was reported yesterday. We did sell some new crop beans to China yesterday, about 5 million bushels for new crop delivery again. So that trend continues. Guys, in the outside markets, we've got an absolute mess. So the Dow Jones is down 750 points. The U.S. dollar's up almost a full handle. The bonds are up almost 2 full handles. Gold's up $60. April crude is up $7.25 at $99.35. That contract was above $100 in crude oil overnight. When you look at the grain markets and where we're at historically, spot month corn futures are their highest level since July of last year. Soybeans, spot month futures highest since September of 2012. Chicago wheat, I believe, is the highest since September of 2012 in spot month futures. Kansas City wheat and spring wheat highest since 2011. Have a great day today, guys. There's a lot going on. We'll talk to you a little bit later.